Hello, people. Hello, hello, hello. It's another Saturday where I'm just gonna talk at the camera and see what happens. Today I'm gonna talk about the fact that I really, actually, honestly have switched for real, for real. And I know if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you'd be like, "Oh my God, here he goes again." Here he goes again. This, however, is the last Mac that I own. I bought it when it came out. This, of course, is the Mac Studio. This is the base model, $1,999, brand new. I bought it for that price on the day it came out. I used it for a few months, and I'm not crapping on Apple. This is not a crap on Apple video. Apple is great. Apple computers are great. This computer, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage, super duper M1 Max chip in there. Never did it choke on anything that I threw at it. And well, it's not fair to say never. There are a few issues, and so because otherwise, like, why would I be getting rid of it? And the answer to that question is not super simple, I guess, but I'm going to answer it for you anyway. Here's the deal. Computer has, let's see. This computer has 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports. It has 2 USB-A ports. It has Ethernet, 10 gigabit Ethernet, which, you know, I don't have. But anyway, Mickey Mouse ears, plug, HDMI, headphone jack, etc., etc. And mine has been really silent. It has another 2 USB-C ports up here and a what do they call this? A SD card thingy. And so mine has not been loud, although I've heard from some other folks that I know that theirs has been kind of loud. And let me get this turned around so we can just keep looking at it. But mine has not been loud. It has been great. So, Jason, why are you getting rid of it? Well, I'll tell you, and it has everything to do with what I call Apple's Goldilocks theory of how to make products available, okay? If you look at Apple's offerings, off-the-shelf offerings, like, you know, this is the base Mac Studio, and, you know, when you look at the MacBook Pros, you can only get certain configurations off the shelf, otherwise it's a special order, and it's that way for pretty much everything that Apple does, which, you know, okay, whatever, that's the way that they do it. Why do I call it the Goldilocks principle? Because everything about every Apple machine that comes off the shelf is, you know, like, kind of like the Goldilocks and Three Bears story, when it's like, well, this one's not got enough RAM, this one's not got enough storage, this one's this one's that. Nothing is just right, and poor Goldilocks, you know, is either going to spend a lot of money to buy the Mac that she or he wants, and wait for it, you know, and as last time I checked, everything that Apple was selling is back ordered and backlogged, which is the case for a lot of stuff. So I'm not blaming Apple for that, but everything is backlogged, and 32 gigabytes of RAM, perfect. 512 gigabytes of storage, not perfect. If you look at the MacBooks off the shelf, you know, you can get a MacBook with a terabyte of storage, but only 16 gigabytes of RAM off the shelf. So you see what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to get a terabyte of storage and 32 gigs of RAM, it's a special order. If I want to get the 32 gigs of RAM instead of 16 and a terabyte of storage, it's a special order. But that's not the only real problem. I mean, people always complain about the fact that Macs are difficult, difficult if not impossible, and pretty much these days impossible to upgrade at all. And one thing that's happened to me over the past several years is that I have become more reliant on live streaming. I live stream on Amazon. You can follow me over there at amazon.com/shop/painfully honest tech. I live stream on Amazon and you know, do a lot of stuff over there several times a month. I live stream here on YouTube. I do gaming live streams. Anyway, live streaming, a big deal. And multiple cameras, also to me a big deal, because I want to be able to do this, right? I want to be able to sort of show the stuff that I have on the desk, because, you know, I do a lot of product reviews, and when I'm on Amazon, I'm talking about products. And yes, you can have multiple cameras in a bunch of different ways with Macs. I had an ATEM Mini from Blackmagic, and that could do 4 different things, and most of the time it worked all right. Sometimes it didn't. And that was sort of not cool, because when you sit down to live stream, you know, you're on a schedule. You're supposed to be live streaming at that time. And what ends up happening is, oh, the cameras aren't showing up. What do I do now? Oh, it's the ATEM is not working for some reason. So unplug everything from the ATEM and then go back and find my Canlink Pros. If you're not familiar, the Camlink is a USB dongle that you can use to plug into anything on your you know, any USB port. So like boom, like that, right? Or you can plug it into, with Macs, it's often easier to use some kind of hub or something like that. Even though this has a lot of ports, like if I just do that, which is what you really should do, then that takes up one of the 2 USB-A slots. And if I use a hub, then I'm not likely going to have enough power. It takes a lot of futzing to get multiple Camlinks to work. I mean, it's easier on a machine like this because this is a more powerful machine, and each bus has its own separate USB bus. So if I were to use the Thunderbolts with a dock, then I'd be able to do it. But you see what I'm saying when I say, okay, in order to make the video thing work on a Mac, there are often last-minute workarounds that you have to get into. And I found that I just was having a lot of problems. Elgato, that makes the Camlink, they have another product. It's called the Canlink Pro. And I had been looking at the Canlink Pro for a while. Once I got up to 2 Camlinks, and then I wanted to have more HDMI ports available to me to put into my machine. The Camlink Pro, it just kept calling me. It kept saying, Jason, come and get me. But if you notice, it is PCIe based. And there ain't no PCIe slot available in any Mac that's not a Mac Pro. So the last time my Mac Studio wasn't receiving video, I did the necessary workarounds, and then I said, no more, no more. I have been working, you might have noticed I've not been putting out a ton of videos recently, but I've been working on my studio for the past couple of months, rebuilding, retooling, doing all kinds of different stuff. I built myself a PC. It is a brand new i7 2700K with a RTX 3060 Ti, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. It's got PCIe 4 M.2 drives inside of there. Room for 5 M.2 drives, which is crazy. Now you see where I'm going. Already, I can add 5 hard drives to my machine. And then I can also add, you know, other SSDs, like a 2.5-inch SSD, or I can do a 3.5-inch drive if I want to have something for storage. And I do have a 4 terabyte drive in there, an Iron Wolf drive that I just use to back stuff up. So you can already see that whereas Apple wants to dictate the way that you use their machines, and it works for the majority of the people that use the Apple machines. And it's worked for me for most of my life. But once you get to a certain point of complexity, you end up needing to do things that the Mac just won't easily allow you to do. And you find yourself sort of fighting with it to work around. Meanwhile, on the PC side, you can get this Camlink Pro, which is what I'm using right now, which is why I'm showing you the box and not the actual thing. I'm using it right now. I've got 3 slots taken up. I'm going to plug my Xbox, and I'm going to plug my Xbox into it. I'm going to get a 4K switcher and plug maybe my PS5 into it. I can play games, I can stream, I can do all kinds of stuff. And so while I do enjoy using Macs more, I've used PCs for many, many years as well, But Mac is my first love. Mac is, I mean, I used Logic Pro for a long time. I used Final Cut Pro for a long time. Before that, I used iMovie. I mean, there's just a lot of programs on the Mac that I had gotten myself into using. And unfortunately, I had to make a choice. And it wasn't an easy choice. It wasn't like a, well, this is 100% the right choice. But I ultimately said to myself that in order to do what I need to do with my computer stuff, I need the flexibility that PC offers, and I'm going to have to give up the quality of life and the various things about Macs that aren't available on PC in order to have that, because this is my business. Live streaming is my business. Making videos is my business, and I have to be able to do it at the drop of a hat without troubleshooting all the time. Now, there may be some of you out there who say, well, I do all that kind of stuff all the time with my Mac and blah, blah, blah. And that's great. That's great. It works for some people, but I got to the point where it wasn't working for me as much as I needed it to. And so I made the decision to go all out and all in on all out and all in. Those of you who are out there saying, yeah, well, talk to me in 2 weeks. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I doubt it though, because this guy's for sale, going up on Swappa here pretty much later on today, as soon as I finish this video, because I can't do it anymore. Apple has taken away all the ability to upgrade pretty much anything, and it's just not practical for me anymore to jump through the hoops necessary to use Apple products, and therefore I am now a PC guy.